Thanks for joining us once again. Another edition of Emerald Downs Weekly. Joe Withy along with Gary Doherty, track president Phil Ziegler. Welcome, fellas. Above the beautiful paddock at Emerald Downs. Really nice place. Empty now, as it should be. Maybe a rabbit or two there in the hedges, and that's a true story. We have a little family down there. Weekend of racing coming up, our regular schedule of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and just promotions to supplement the racings. This is the place to be on the weekends. Tell us why, Gary.
Well, it's the first Friday of the month. That means Brewers Night here at Emerald Downs. Elysian Brewing coming out to be the main craft beer here on Friday night. Also live music between the races by Melly May. So it should be a fun Friday night here at Emerald Downs. Also, the $1,000 horseshoe toss. Phil, do you think we'll have a ringer this weekend?
I don't know, but those Brewers nights are so much fun, and they got this a wheel that they spin. It's $2.50 for craft beer from 6 to 6:45 at night, and then after every race, there's a special price.
Yep.
They spin a wheel for the price of the beer, so that's always a lot of fun.
I once spun, got $4, and got booed off
Booed,
stage.
yes,
Yeah.
it's not good.
Gary got booed. Oh,
Yes.
boy. Anyway, so we're starting off with the Brewers Night. First one of the meeting, and 7-race card, thoroughbred racing. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on. And then the Clubhouse Casino's open after racing, of course.
Yep.
We've got that great food special starting at 10 p.m.
Yeah, $3.95 gets you New York steak and eggs.
That's huge.
Hash browns. I try to have one at least every weekend, Phil.
We could tell.
That's Thursday through Sunday, as you can see right there. Thursday through Sunday, 10 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. A New York steak and 2 eggs and hash browns. It is some kind of a sweet deal. And, then we go on to Saturday. This is our last Saturday of a 2 p.m. post time.
Right. Then the following weekend, we go to Twilight Racing at 5 o'clock. This Saturday is the last leg of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes from Elmont, New York. Gates open at 8 a.m. here in Seattle at Emerald Downs. First race, 8:30. 8 grade 1s on the card, Phil. That's amazing for racing in New York.
I know. I grew up about 20 minutes from Belmont Park. Went to quite a few Belmonts. Don't ever remember one with a card like this with 8 grade 1s. They say it's unprecedented, so it's the biggest Belmont day ever.
Must have added a race because they've had the Met Mile on Belmont Day the last at least 2 years before this. Yeah, it is the best card for sure of any of the Triple Crown. Probably the best card of the year, other than the Breeders' Cup.
Right.
So gates open 8 a.m. on Saturday. First Belmont race goes about 8:30, and we'll have our racing as well.
And afterwards, 8 p.m. at night,
Okay.
Live music on the 5th floor. Nightwave coming to play. They've been out a few times, got a good crowd, so that should be a lot of fun on Saturday night right here.
Except I think it's Erotic City, the Prince
Oh,
tribute.
it's Prince. That's correct. Prince
You're
is
a
this
week ahead
Saturday.
of yourself.
The following week is
Always off by
Nightwave.
one, Gary.
Prince tribute to
What did I
Prince.
tell you?
Yeah.
Have I ever told you?
Well, I wasn't
Okay.
here. I wasn't here last
Sorry,
year.
you're
so
off
I
a week.
You
I
did
know.
a
Figure it
little
out.
future
Right.
promotion there.
Yes.
We can handle that. But, live music every Saturday night here at Emerald Downs up on the 5th floor, and it's free to attend as well. And again, remember that steak and egg special starting at 10 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. Dancing at the Downs, coming up again this Saturday. And then we're going to, as you mentioned, 5 p.m. post time next Saturday. That'll be the 15th, June 15th, and for the rest of the season, 5 p.m. Great twilight cards at Emerald Downs, a place to be on a Saturday night. And Sunday.
First annual.
Okay.
Our first annual Bulldogs and Beagle racing right here on the stretch drive of Emerald Downs. Should be a fun day. Beagles and a bunch of English Bulldogs and French Bulldogs. First time, Phil, we've done this. And we'll have them race about 50 yards on the racetrack.
Okay, Bulldogs and Beagles on Sunday at Emerald Downs. And let's talk a little bit more. We're going to expand on the Belmont Stakes coverage. But let's go back to last weekend. You guys all like to see that. Guys and gals want to see what happened. Highlights at Emerald Downs. Friday, we had a 7-race card. And let's go right back to that third race of the evening. And here we come down the stretch. And how about this horse on the outside? Zanab is going to win the third. She is now 5 for 7 at Emerald Downs. And she beat the favorite there, I Know Your Face, and she beat her pretty easily. Zanab was a racing club horse, and then Vicky Wilson, who's still in the club, got her back after she was claimed away from the club, and she's very happy to be an owner, and she has some other members in with her. But Zanab's been a terror here.
Yeah, former club horses won twice on Friday night.
Okay.
Twirling Cinnamon also won.
Twirling Cinnamon took the first race. That's right. Okay, and let's go on to race number 4. The reason we're showing this is because we had a pick section. Look at this horse in third right now. He was on the lead right before the half-mile pole. His name's Jackson Teller, and he is going to come on and win this thing. Dr. Bruce S. on the rail there, and who was the 4 horse was Eddie and the King. So the reason we're showing this is because I picked this horse on the show last week, and he paid $13.40.
That's impressive.
You know, when you guys do good, let me know. We'll put it on the show.
Sure.
Yeah, Jackson Teller, I think Jose Zanino was listening to the show because he was on the lead before the half-mile pole. And then he thought, oh, wait, Joe said that horse was going to stalk, going to get a good stalking trip. So he dropped him back and then came back on. Okay.
You don't see that too often in racing, Joe.
Yeah. No, he fell back about 4 lengths. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the feature race on Friday night, and let's hear the call of track announcer Tom Harris.
Here comes Cross Creek on the attack. Deep stretch now, and Cross Creek comes through to capture the lead. Golden Cowboy chasing back third will rally, and Cross Creek puts him away 1.5 lengths.
Cross Creek, and there is rider Javier Matias, the Frank Lucarelli barn, and we're recognizing these silks now, guys. That's Chad Christensen's silks.
Yep.
And that was his first horse. If you remember, he claimed that horse last summer. And he bet a little bit on the horse, and he won and did well. And Chad has really jumped in. He is a clear leading owner so far at Emerald Downs this year. And Cross Creek has a close spot to his heart because that was his first horse here. Josh McKee was also part owner of that horse. And Phil, we had another milestone last Friday night, didn't we?
Yes, it was Gary's birthday, and a special treat for Gary actually took place in my office. Let's watch.
I hope that tip was good. $1? It's lost! $1?
Get it out! It's stuck!
Gary?
Bill?
Wait. You're taking the money back? That's even worse.
Oh, we're still on camera?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God.
That's so funny, Gary.
And it did go back in your wallet, you
Yes,
tight
it did.
wad. You got a free piece of cake that was worth about $30.
Why was he playing it so sadly? There must be a reason for that.
That was good cake.
That was good cake, yes. We got him a cake as well. Gary's birthday. Happy birthday.
Is
Hope
that
you
what
enjoyed
Dan
it.
does? Does he give the money back once in a while?
No,
Why did he
Gary
do that?
takes it back.
Gary had his hand out. Okay.
Well,
All right. Well, happy
I was looking for a
birthday
bigger bill.
once again, Gary. Okay, we're going to take a break. We got a lot more to do here on Emerald Downs Weekly. Stay with us.
Happy
$1
birthday.
and he took it back.
That was like $15.
I could see if it was a 10.
Hey, no, he might have had a 10 stuck in there.
I did.
He might have.
It doesn't matter. He took it back. No matter what it was.
Well, I thought the person who got got Dan to play would be the tipper.
Emerald Downs Weekly continues here as heading into another weekend. June is underway, almost summertime. Nice weekend the past at Emerald Downs. Hope you made it out for a race or two. And let's go back to last Saturday. Let's go right to that first race because I don't need to say his first and last name anymore. I'm just going to call him 1 Mile Juan. Bonita Rapids, that is Juan Gutierrez aboard. Another win at a mile. He has won his last 4 races when riding 1 mile at Emerald Downs. Juan was 3 for 3 a week ago, and that was his only mile ride last week. Bonita Rapids back up from Phoenix. She has a really good record here, so we'll keep it going. Juan, who entered the Washington Thoroughbred Hall of Fame last year. Race 3, let's go further forward, and emerging there, and actually He's been there all the way. No Harbor in Sight was a slight favorite, and he did get to the wire first in this maiden race. One Horse Will Do Corporation, Chris Stensley, and
Stensley race, maiden.
See, I'm putting it on because it
How many
makes
now
me
is that?
look good again.
10?
Because
10 or
I predicted
15?
10 maiden wins from that barn this year. That's already 6.
Wow.
And I think I'm a little light on that prediction. Anyway, No Harbor in Sight, another maiden victory from that barn. Let's go on to race number 4 on Saturday. And this was a good maiden race here. Howard Belvoir has this son of Sky Mesa, Sky Confidential. And Bonnie Jenny's horse there, Macaw Lane, ran well right from the gate, the one horse. But Sky Confidential, too good. 1940 to win. Dave Matsumoto, the winning owner of Sky Confidential, and he was involved in more good stuff on Sunday. We'll get to that. And how about the feature race on Saturday afternoon at Emerald Downs? This was a 2-horse battle. That is Spot On the inside, and the other horse is Crown of
Crazy for
Crazy
Gold.
for Gold. Thanks, Gary.
Yep.
But Spot On held her off. There was an inquiry there, and the stewards deemed no disqualification. Spot On gets the win. Blinkers on for that was a Blue Ribbon Farm bred horse, and Kay Cooper trained, and Eddie Martinez aboard. So Spot On gets the feature. Okay, no further comments there. We're going to go on to Sunday, and let's go to race number 2. Vince Gibson had already won the first race on Sunday, and Cosmic Tripster always has the lead in her races. Can she hold on? Look at this finish. She's leading right now. Well, Alex Anaya aboard for Vince Gibson. They're coming at her from both sides. That's House of Charm on the inside and Unbridled Birdie flying. I watched it live. I thought the 2 held on. Then I watched the replay. I thought the 2 got beat, and then she did hold on.
Now, that's the photo we're seeing for play, so you can see the 2-1 by the slides. That was as close as you get to a triple dead heat as you can possibly have.
You're right. So it came in 2-1-3, and Vince Gibson won the early double. Nice job, Vince.
Phil, you were watching that race live, weren't you?
I called the 2.
So you're still perfect calling photos?
From that one spot where I stand, I usually could see it. Like you, Joe, when I saw the replay, I was doubting myself for a second.
Really? Yeah, that's... okay.
Like, ooh, I don't know.
You know, the third race, quite the build-up. Mike Man's Gold, now 9, winning here at age 2, and number 2 all-time at Emerald Downs behind West Seattle Boy. 21 wins for us, Seattle Boy. 20 for Mike Man's Gold. Could he tie the record? Let's go to the stretch run of Sunday's third.
Take charge deputies launching a late say 200 yards for home. At the inside, capital expense. There goes So Lucky back on Mike Man's Gold grandstand side. 50 yards to the wire. So Lucky pulls it off by a length and a half.
Well, a gallant run by Mike Man's Gold, but how about So Lucky back in the winner's circle for Howard Belvoir, state champion 2-year-old of 2017. That's his first win since then.
Is that right? Well,
he ran fast.
Facing the big horses and stakes races, and kind of came in for a tag and ran huge. And somebody claimed Mike Man's Gold for $25,000 for a 9-year-old.
Chuck and Greg Conley.
Yeah, who had him before he had gotten claimed for 15, right?
Right.
And then they claimed him back. They really wanted him back.
They had him for several years.
Yeah.
I saw Greg Conley there afterwards, and he said, well, that was fine. If he won, that would have been great because we love the horse, and then they would have owned him for a chance to break the record.
Right.
Now they got a chance to tie, and boy, it looks like he'll probably get it. That was a big effort by Mike Man's Gold, but great run by So Lucky. 108, what did he do? 108 and 3/5. Outstanding finish there. And by the way, Howard Belvoir won the next race with Sleet of Fleet as well. Dave Matsumoto, part of the Rising Star stable. So Lucky, part owner of Sleet of Fleet. He had a really good weekend.
Jennifer Whitaker aboard for both?
Yeah, both of those on Sunday.
Yep.
Let's go on to the 6th race at Emerald Downs. And the 6th race, Kalex is going to battle in this race again. And we know Kalex was coming off a win at 17-1. And a little bit lesser race. This race he had to go against Wine at 9, and Kalex is going to hold off playoff bound and win race 6 at Emerald Downs. So congratulations to Valentin Garcia. There's the list of active horses at Emerald Downs and the win totals. Mike Man's Gold, of course, on top. Lizzie Lass, Wine at 9, Mr. Breeze has a win at the meeting.
Yep.
Barkley might not be active right now, but he's going to be off 3 months.
And
then
Kalex, huh?
Kalex hit the board.
People love to bet Wine at 9. Even when he doesn't win, he seems to go off at like 3-5 or 1-2.
Yeah, well, he's been solid. Now, he doesn't have a win yet this year.
Yeah.
You're right.
Is that a Dean Mazuka horse?
Yes, it's
Big
2 putts
group.
for the win.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Kalex, another really good 2-turn race and win. Let's go on to the feature race of the week. It was the Governor's Stakes.
Any port in a storm takes him inside the final furlong. Grinder sparks a glow, trying to come after the leader, but in deep stretch, Any port in a storm and Juan Hernandez have found another gear and open up to win it by 3.
Well, a display of sheer speed in the 2019 Governors. Yeah, Juan Hernandez comes up for another stakes win. That is the Peter Redekop Silks, Blaine Wright trainee, a son of City Zip, 5-year-old horse. He's won 4 of his last 5, and he ran fast, Gary. There's a list of horses in Washington with the fastest 6 furlongs, and he joins that list.
That's a very impressive list there. Cabrage under 107, 106 and 4. And the first time Great Papa back at Lionkers, 107 and 1.
Great
Now-
Papa held the North American record for 16 years with that time.
Is that really seven
Set in
and 1?
1972 at Hollywood Harbor. Hollywood Harbor that same year of 2012 set the North American record for 5.5 furlongs that still stands.
Minute
He
and
was
4.
a fast horse.
Early mile favorite, perhaps?
Yeah. Well, and we're going to hear more about that a little bit later in the
Yeah.
show. What else we need to do on this segment?
Hawkfest was
Hawkfest.
Sunday. Yes.
Ah.
A lot of fun out in the park for folks. Hawkfest is some pictures, a lot of football fans, and this was a fundraiser for a charitable organization that Slick Watts was on with you, Joe, along
Yeah.
with Norb from Norbcam, who was part of the festivities and put on the show out there. The Boot Scootin' or Boogie Babes or whatever they call themselves are out there dancing. It was a lot of fun. Again, to raise money for charity. There was a Reptile Man
Reptile
was
Man.
here with one of his turtles there, and the kids were having a good time with that. And
Bouncy houses.
yeah, there's that turtle.
That's a
And
big turtle.
That's a big turtle.
How old is he?
I don't know.
They
I
get
think-
pretty old,
I
those
think
turtles.
he turned 54. That turtle. It was his birthday.
Phil?
Gary
Yeah.
Tarkanian turtle? Oh, wait a minute. Is that Gary again?
It's the 54-year-old turtle.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not that old for a turtle.
Gary said, "Don't put my head on a turtle." So
Yes. I got to find my lawyer.
That's a smart move. Sue the boss. Yeah. Okay. We'll be right back on Emerald Downs Weekly. More pictures of Gary, maybe.
I just
Keep
figured
you
that was
watching.
your cry for help, that you wanted your head on a turtle.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
To
Turtle.
show us at your bar.
Yeah. That's a keeper.
Emerald Downs Weekly continues. Joe Withy, Gary Doherty, and Phil Ziegler. And we did have an extra thing for the horse players last week, Gary.
Yeah, horse racing contest, handicapping contest on Sunday. Almost 100 entrants, and you had to bet 2 win, 2 place on 10 races. 5 from California, 5 right here at Emerald Downs. And Ray Loftus, whose horses made $88.20, earned $1,000. Easy
That wasn't
winner.
close, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Alexander, she did great. Her friend said, you should get in this contest. Only $40 with live money. So she did. She got second, got $400. So a lot of fun. We'll do another one of these in September.
Good, yeah.
So
Loft-
Ray basically spends 40, gets back his 88.20,
And-
plus the $1,000.
And he's
Good
part
payment.
owner of one of the horses that paid like So Lucky.
Ah,
So-
he's in the So Lucky syndicate.
Yeah,
okay, I
so
know.
he knows Howard Belvoir. So 2 of his key winners were Howard Belvoir trained horses. So we had the handicapping contest on the right day. And I was real official running this contest, Phil. you're out doing the Hawkfest, so I was upstairs in 5 running the contest.
You know what's sad is that that's not an altered picture. You really were wearing that.
For most of the day.
Yes.
Lots of high fives, and people were cheering for the king and saying you're making us a bunch of money this year on some days. No ledger yet, though.
Oh,
Joe.
yeah, no ledger.
We're working on a ledger.
Yeah, well, okay. And hey, how about the pick of the week? That could have been the pick of the week, but that's not a doctored pick either. That is trainer Blaine Wright, jockey Juan Hernandez, and honorary steward for the Governor's Stakes, Bob Lopez of the Washington Horse Racing Commission. Blaine is in there because he's got a Cortez Kennedy jersey on Stakes Day. He was just supporting Hawkfest, fellas. That is a number 96 old throwback Seahawk jersey.
He got in for free because of that.
He did. He got in for free. Way to go, Blaine. That combination doing pretty well. We'll have probably some stats on Blaine Wright and his stakes prowess on another day, maybe every week on Emerald Downs Weekly. Hey, the Kent Stakes is this weekend, and who has the big favorite in the race? Trainer Blaine Wright. Mucho Amor dominated the Seattle Stakes in her Emerald Downs debut, owned locally by Dave Mowat, and Blaine talked about her presence and her coming up to this weekend's Kent Stakes.
From the time I got her till today, she's just been the consummate pro. I know we had some issues at the gate last time. Not really sure what set her off. She could have been in heat. Fillies get like that sometimes. So we've done a lot of practicing over there with Mark Gibson and his crew. She's been pretty good. She never acted like that the first time we ran her, so hopefully she won't act that way come this Sunday, but had two really nice breezes in between. Juan Hernandez will be back up to ride her. He's always thought she's been a very special filly since he first got on her at Golden Gate. So, we're looking to hopefully take this one down and really want to get to go in a route of ground with her. We really like to see what that's all about because Mr. Mowat will be very adamant about trying to run her in the Oaks, and with the Oaks here at Emerald versus the Oaks at Hastings Park, and they have the bonus program. We've been trying that for the last 2 years with top quality, and we haven't hit yet, but we're going to keep trying.
Thanks to Blaine. Look at the Mucho Amor, who's 3 for 5 lifetime, has wins at Keeneland, Golden Gate, and of course the Seattle Stakes at Emerald Downs. And that bonus schedule affects different divisions, Phil. For
all 4 of the races on Championship
Yeah.
Sunday here are the first leg of a bonus with Hastings, and if a horse sweeps both, they get extra money, $25,000 for each of those divisions, I believe. So extra some, and Blaine, like he said, he's been trying to chase that for a couple of years, and he'll have a good chance this year to win one of them, or maybe more.
Okay, well, Mucho Amor figures to be the favorite on Sunday in the Kent, and before that, it's the Belmont Stakes, the oldest and longest leg in racing's Triple Crown. Let's go back 30 years, and a pretty memorable Belmont in 1989.
And down the stretch they come. It's Easy Goer with a furlong to the finish in front by 5. Sunday Silence appears beaten. The Voyager is third. Down the stretch, and it's Easy Goer with Pat Day winning the Belmont and denying Sunday Silence the Triple Crown.
One of the fastest Belmonts in history, Easy Goer got some revenge on Sunday Silence in his backyard of Belmont Park, New York, and that was quite a win as Sunday Silence was shooting for the Triple Crown that year.
Yeah, great rivalry, and they met 4 times. That's the only time Easy Goer beat Sunday Silence. They met again in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and a rivalry. It would have been nice to see them come back and race against each other some more, but those were great races.
They were. Those were 2 super high quality. I'm searching for my Belmont Stakes pick right here. I'm going to go with the horse that finished 7th in the Kentucky Derby, Master Fencer.
No.
The horse from Japan. He only got beat 4 lengths in the Derby.
Really?
And,
Wow.
You're picking that one?
Yeah, he's 8-1 morning line, Julian Lepereau. Who do you guys like?
We like Kentucky breds. There's 9 Kentucky breds and 1 horse bred in Japan.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll take a Kentucky bred. I'm taking the Tappet runner, Tacitus, who I picked in the Kentucky Derby. Tacitus? Yeah, I get his name spelled correctly. And then, Phil, who you
I'm
going to
going
go
to
with?
take Intrepid Heart and Todd Pletcher.
Another Tappet.
Yes, although if Everfast wins, that would be it would be justice with Luis Saez aboard. Everything would come full circle. So.
Okay, second in the Preakness at a big price was Everfast. We'll be right back on Emerald Downs Weekly.
Let's buy a trifecta box, all 3 horses.
You are the trifecta king.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yes.
take care of it.
Okay.
You go ahead and I'll pay you later.
You guys pay me later. I'll collect. Split it up. 2 parts for me and 1 part for each of you guys.
Belmont Stakes on Saturday here at Emerald Downs. You can catch it on the big screen. Great place to watch. And I think it's a 10-horse field, so could be a lively betting race. Tacitus and War of Will are going to be the 2 strong favorites in the race. We talked about horse of the meeting here on our first show. We like to make some predictions, see the future a little bit. None of us picked Barkley, which was kind of surprising. And Barkley's most probably going to end the season 1-for-1. And he won't be horse of the meeting because he didn't win a stake. But looking back, Phil picked every 2-year-old on the ground. So he's got it open there. He's just rooting for 2-year-olds to be repeat winners.
I said it was somebody that we did not know who they were yet, a.k.a. a 2-year-old.
Yeah, 2-year-old that's going to rattle off a bunch of wins, which is certainly possible. Gary took Riser, and a little bit unlucky there, the Blaine Wright Dynamo. But he was over at Griffin Place the last few weeks.
There he is, Joe.
Yeah, that's very recent video from Blaine Wright, and he's coming back to Emerald Downs, Riser. Now, Blaine said he's not going to be coming back in time to make the mile, but it's great to see that he'll be back in training because he can really pick him up and lay him down.
Absolutely.
He is really one fast racehorse that can carry his speed. I took Baja Sur. So I got a shot out there. Baja Sur, of course, won the Auburn Stakes real impressively.
Sure
and
did.
He'll be running in a couple more weeks
Yep.
coming up here at Emerald Downs in the Coca-Cola. And what about Any Port in the Storm? I think he moves sort of to the head of the class among Emerald Downs horses for this year after that win in the Governors last Sunday in 107 and 2. Blaine Wright talks about his schedule the rest of the season and coming out of the Governors.
He was really on it the day after it. He knew he'd win. I walked him myself. He got to graze out there for a while and then basically just wanted to pose and look at the racetrack. So when they win like that, they usually pull up pretty decent. So the plan for him all along was to hit the Governors onto the Budweiser going 6.5, and then we'll skip the Mount Rainier just only because I don't like the distance change from 6.5 to a mile and 16th back to a mile where he's a sprinter. So we'll just train him right up to the Lawacres Mile, hopefully, assuming he stays sound, and take our best shot there.
Looks like it could be a pretty good shot. He's not super experienced around 2 turns, and his race schedule's been a little spotty in his career. 2 races, then time off. Blaine explained some of the circumstances why he hasn't rattled off 5 races in 5 months.
He's a horse that we didn't get to race a lot early. He had some shin trouble when we first got him, but really more it's been a hard luck type of horse. He's gotten injured by some accidents, nothing really physically wrong with him, but a loose horse broadsided him one day on the racetrack. He got loose, he fell down on the pavement, skinned himself all up, got him over that, and then he clipped a stifle coming out of the gate, which got infected, and that cost us like 3 months. We had an unfortunate little foot issue at a farm that was really nothing, but just things that take time. Finally now we're getting him in a series of races. Best thing about having a good horse like him is you can space your races, you can choose where you want to go, and run every 4 to 5 weeks. And he's always been a serious animal, and right now hopefully it's his time to flourish.
Well, you've got to do right by the horse, give him time when he needs it. He's had a couple of little mishaps there, but boy, when he gets out on the track, we saw it on Sunday. Tremendous performance, and Blaine ran 1-2 with Oh Marvelous Me second, who was third in our mile last year, so
Yep.
He looks to be going well. And Any Port in a Storm is a Florida bred, so he's not eligible for this next list that we're going to show you. Leading Washington bred earners so far in 2019. Uno Troublemaker, bred by Todd and Sean Hansen, is 4-for-4 at Santa Anita this year with earnings of over $100,000. 4-year-old son of Successful Appeal.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that horse has been a monster down there. 4-for-4.
All sprinting?
I'm not sure there. That race right there certainly looks like a sprint. But he's never run at Emerald Downs, but who knows? Maybe sometime. Always Enough hasn't won yet this year, but she's picked up some good checks. Running with the Devil, another horse running in California. Gray Gem at Golden Gate. Dr. John H. up at Hastings, owned by Glenn Todd. And you don't see a lot of Emerald Downs horses on there yet because Blaine Wright with out-of-state breds has dominated our stakes division so far. But we'll see some soon with Washington breds running at Emerald Downs. So there are our leading earners so far at in the state of Washington. There's a horse called Marcula
Markula.
That's a 6-year-old that's over in Hong Kong, and he's run 18 times over there the last couple of years, and he just won this last weekend, but we haven't converted the dollars yet. Could you help us on that, Phil? Joe Henry might be able
It's a
to.
big purse. Their
Yeah.
purses aren't small.
Yeah.
I bet that's at least $100,000 purse.
Markula, a Washington bred.
And you can watch and wager on those races right here. I didn't know that was.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep an eye out for.
That horse won on Sunday in Hong Kong, which might have been Saturday night. Here
Yes,
at
Saturday
Emerald
night,
Downs.
probably shot 10.
Okay, we can take a break, and we've got more to talk about. It'll be exciting, the last couple of segments of Emerald Downs Weekly, so stay with us.
Stat of the week coming up.
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
Who do I pay off to win this week?
Emerald Downs Weekly, right here on NBC Sports Northwest. If you're watching at 11 p.m. on Thursday night or 9 a.m. on Friday morning, thank you for watching and being a fan of Emerald Downs. And hey, we have got that special treat once a year coming up in another week, the Indian Relay Weekend, and we're going to have a big finish on Father's Day this year. Gary?
Yeah, Indian Relay, Gary.
21 teams are here from all over the Northwest or even the nation, right, Phil?
Even North America,
North
because we
America.
have a great team from Canada, First Nation team coming.
Several states represented. Yeah.
3 heats Friday night, 3 heats Saturday night, and then the winner-take-all championships on Sunday.
Yeah, 2 consolations in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
$65,000 plus in purses for these
Yeah.
teams, and it is an amazing spectacle. It is America's oldest sport, goes back about 500 years. And now it's an organized relay of 4 segments of a half mile, so they go around twice. They do it a little differently in some different tracks around the country, but here they go a half mile and they ride 4 different horses. So they have to jump off a horse at the half mile in a very specific box that you see
Right.
them going into. That is not easy
Oh.
to do, and a lot of these horses that they ride are racehorses from racetracks like here at Emerald Downs. We
Yeah.
see some horses that ran here in the past that are now in relay. So it's remarkable to see.
$65,000 Muckleshoot Gold Cup, Friday night, Saturday twilight and evening, and Sunday Father's Day, the championship. We had a great championship race last year. Abrahamson won it. A little controversy involved there, but nothing bad. And as Phil mentioned, the horsemanship is just spectacular. I bet you our jockeys just marvel at those guys jumping on and off, riding bareback. It has been a great spectacle here at Emerald Downs, and we're coming right up on it. Hey, how about stat versus stat? Another regular feature here at Emerald Downs.
I heard I lost
Emerald
again
Downs
last
Weekly.
week. Did I lose again last week when I wasn't
Yeah,
here?
you weren't here, and nobody stuck up for you because your
I'm
stuff
ready. I'm loaded this week.
wasn't good enough.
No, I'm getting involved this
Okay.
week. I'm in. I want
My
in
stat-
on this.
My stat's already been seen. It's the fastest 6 furlongs in Washington State history, and they've all been either at Emerald Downs or Long Acres. Great Papa in there at 107 and 1. Again, that's just there they are. There's the fast sprinters, which are always exciting. And Annie Portna-Storm joined the list with his win in the Governors. There they are. Gary, I think you can beat that.
I
this
think so.
week.
It's Belmont Stakes week, and
Okay.
I did a research of the fastest ever Belmont Stakes. Obviously, Secretariat 224. But one of the cool ones is 1957 Gallop Man went 2:26 and 3, which was a minute and 3/5 or a second and 3/5 faster than the old record was Count Fleet in 1943. So for 14 years, the record stood until Gallop Man won by 8 lengths with Billy Shoemaker in the irons. Not too many horses that went under 228. There's Shoemaker winning at Belmont by 8 lengths. Now, this race has been a mile and a half since 1926. There's Gallop Man. He was Horse of the Year that year. He lost the Kentucky Derby by a nose.
Wow,
But
you're
he
doing
clicked
good.
off 1 second and 3/5 off the old record. And this record stood until 1973 when Secretariat
That's
went
right.
224.
There you go.
So-
2 3/5 seconds faster than Gallant Man.
Yes.
I want in on this. By the way, great job with all the pictures.
Presentation's great.
You win for that. I will say that.
Beat
But
me.
here's a great stat. Did you know the first post parade in the United States, where horses walk sequentially down the track before a race, was right before the 1871 Belmont Stakes. It had never been done before that race.
For that race, it started.
That was the first time they ever had a post parade for horse racing in the United States, and that race was held.
What racetrack?
At
Morris
Jerome Park.
Jerome Park.
Yes, at Jerome Park. That was before there was a Belmont Park. It was named the Belmont Stakes, and it was won by a horse named Harry Bassett.
Did they run backwards back in the day?
Yes, I believe they did until about 1920. And the Belmont Stakes was the first race, I believe, that went counterclockwise also in history.
Okay.
So a lot of great Belmont Stakes trivia. Gary, you win, though, because you had pictures.
Yeah, you had some good presentation this week.
You spent time. You see, when you prepare, you win.
I mean, it was a list of times just like mine, but yeah, you did.
Good history.
Okay,
Yes.
that's right. The Jerome racetrack, when did that go away? Was that in the 50s?
I think 1904 when they went to Belmont in 1905.
Okay,
we'll look that one
Let's talk a little Longacres Mile
The mile.
history with our weekly video. With 23 photo finishes in 83 runnings of the Longacres Mile, a heated stretch run is not rare. While popular Washington-bred Hall of Fame members Trooper 7, Chinook Pass, Chum Salmon, and Noosa Beach were clearly best in their triumphs, many other mile champions needed steward scrutiny before the outcome was decided. In a near half-mile duel in 2006, flamethrowing Texan refused to let invader Poppy Chulo pass in a memorable race, giving trainer Jim Penny his last of a record 5-mile triumphs.
Puppy Chulo trying to nail Flamethrowing Texan. They're stride to stride. Flamethrowing Texan's equal to the task. Puppy Chulo comes back. Puppy Chulo and Flamethrowing Texan. Flamethrowing Texan the inside. Flamethrowing Texan unstoppable.
In 2008, Wasserman and jockey Jennifer Whitaker were having a great season and had the crowd behind them. Whitaker didn't have time to think about becoming the first woman rider to win the mile.
It doesn't cross your mind like that. You're just riding and you're just going and you don't look for the wire or anything. You just kind of, after you ride enough, you kind of know where it's at. And it was tough. That was a close one. I didn't really know for sure if I'd gotten it.
True Metropolitan fighting back. Wasserman in front. And Wasserman in a photo from True Metropolitan.
Fans at the track let her know that Wasserman had won.
I could hear the crowd just roaring. And I'm like, I was almost in tears. I don't cry very often, but I was almost in tears. Close.
Trainer Mike Puich has saddled a host of mile runners for Dr. Mark DiDomenico and partners, but it was for another prominent Northwest owner, Glenn Todd, that victory came in 2012 with Taylor Said and jockey Mario Gutierrez.
Mario had a lot of horse when he made the lead and looked like he was going to win pretty easy, and then all of a sudden Winning Machine really ran, I think, the best race of his life in defeat, but it ended up being a great race.
Taylor Said, Winning Machine. Taylor Said a neck in front. Winning Machine coming back. Taylor Said has won the mile.
Puich can be known for his vociferous rooting in the stretch.
Probably was a cross between John McEnroe and Happy Gilmore the last 16th of a mile.
British Columbia Hall of Fame jockey Chris Loseth won the mile at both Longacres and Emerald Downs, but was on the wrong end of a 1986 photo finish.
Bedside Promise is closing ground. Skywalker, Bedside Promise will drive on the outside. It's Skywalker, Bedside Promise, they're neck and neck. Bedside Promise, Skywalker, Skywalker, Bedside Promise.
Loseth was frustrated on the near miss, but also knew all-time great Lafitte Pincay Jr. didn't lose many photos. Skywalker went on to win that year's Breeders' Cup Classic. Thanks again for joining us on Emerald Downs Weekly. And 1 hour goes pretty fast. We've got another great weekend upcoming. Bulldogs and Beagles on Sunday.
That's correct.
After Wiener Dogs, Corgis.
It's the first annual.
Yeah. We had the exotic animals, but Bulldogs and Beagles this weekend. But we
First-
start Friday night with the Brewers Night.
First Brewers Night of the year. And Elysian will be out, that brewing company. They make very strong beers, so I wouldn't have too many, but that should be a great night. We'll also have Melee May playing music between the races here on Friday night. And also one person, actually 3 people get a chance to throw a horseshoe. A ringer means $1,000 cash. Last person to throw a ringer was an honorary horseshoe tosser. Trifecta King did that. Right, Phil?
Self-promotion.
So that's Friday. Saturday, come out and watch the Belmont Stakes. Gates open at 8. First race from Belmont, 8:35. 8 grade 1s. Bring a bunch of money. Pick 3s, pick 5s, pick 6s. Also, you can play the Belmont Stakes. 10 horses. And Joe's got kind of a pricey horse. Who'd you pick, Joe?
That Met Miles, a pretty decent field on Master Spencer, isn't that the name of my horse?
Spencer. Does he know his name of his horse, Phil?
You know, they've made this.
He's only run once in North America.
They've made this the festival now, this whole Belmont Stakes kind of festival of racing with all these grade 1s and activities all week.
Yep.
I was lucky enough that growing up in New York, I got to go to a few Belmont Stakes, and they've really enhanced the whole experience. But it made me think about, you know, we talk about being here on Mile Day and the experience, and people go to Belmont Park on Belmont Day. So what's on your bucket list? A track and a day that you haven't experienced that you would... Everybody... Normally people would say the Derby and Churchill Downs, but that's not on my list because it doesn't look fun. Too many people.
Nowadays,
But where would you like to go? If you could go, I mean, we always work, so we miss all of these great big events during the prime racing season, but...
I would like to go one time to Pimlico before it comes to a close, which will happen.
You think?
I think so. I wouldn't mind seeing the Preakness Stakes there at Pimlico, Old Hilltop. They've also got another big... What's that other big race they run that day?
The special? Pimlico Special?
Yeah, Pimlico Special.
You know, somebody I talked to this week that said they were at the Preakness and they've been to all 3 Triple Crown races and said, and this is somebody who's been around a long time in the industry, and said the Preakness experience is the best.
Ask Blaine Wright; he'll back that up. I heard that this
That's
morning
what they said.
from Blaine Wright.
Crab cakes.
What about you? Where do you want to? Where would you want to go? Where haven't you been? And you say, "Boy, I would like to do that."
I went to the Breeders' Cup a whole bunch of years in a row, but you know, I don't think I've seen a big cap in person, which isn't quite the race it was, 10, 20, 30 years ago. But it sure used to be a big race. I've been to Santa Anita a lot, but I haven't seen the big cap.
How about the Dubai World Cup? Would you go?
That would be fun.
Joe, would you do it?
You can't bet.
Dubai?
Yeah.
You can't bet.
You can't bet and you can't drink.
Call Gary back home, put in the bets for you.
That's rough.
You know, I had a chance, and I blew it because this is an experience I could have done because I worked for a sister property. But Labor Day every year is one of the most incredible experiences in racing at Ruidoso Downs in the mountains in New Mexico, and the All-American Futurity when they packed that old racetrack. Beautiful, right in a resort town, and for what I think a $3 million race that lasts about 19 seconds.
21 seconds.
And horses that have to qualify. It's old school, fastest gets in. They have those trials a couple weeks prior, and there's like 20 races and 200 horses, and they get to the top 10. And it's an incredible experience and something I really should have done because I've been to the track there, but never went on All-American Day. And one day, maybe, that would be tops on my list.
Okay.
Yes.
Did Gary say his?
Yeah, I go.
Oh, Pimlico. Yeah.
Pimlico.
Yeah.
Old Hilltop before. You got to figure it's going to close here in the next 5 to 10 years, and they'll run it at Laurel Park. So
Saratoga Travers Day seems pretty amazing.
I haven't been to
too.
Saratoga. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
I did that.
I think I've been to a track you guys haven't been to.
Okay.
River Downs in Cincinnati, which isn't there anymore.
Did you drive by or actually go
I went to the races there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you guys? What tracks have you been to that we haven't been to?
I was at Suffolk Downs on a dark day.
Been there.
Dark day.
Been there for the races.
How about Delaware Park?
It snowed all day. No, I haven't been to Delaware.
I was at the Meadowlands for John Henry's last race of his career that he won. Did you ever see thoroughbred racing at the Meadowlands?
They run
They run harness most of the time.
Yes.
Friday night I was there at the 185 Breeders' Cup weekend.
Yeah.
And
So you
Albert
saw John
Finney won
Henry
the
run?
feature race with a Seattle Slew filly.
And what's amazing is in all these tracks and all these big days, on Mile Day or big days here at Emerald Downs when the mountain is out in beautiful weather, this is just as good as anything that you could experience in the country, and it's right here.
Yep.
So
I see
people are very lucky to have this racetrack and this kind of facility that's in the shape that it's in, because a lot of these other tracks are really old, and lines for the bathroom and getting food, it's not exactly the most pleasant
We'll
experience.
send out pictures on social media with Matt Rainier in the backdrop, and
we don't show off our stable area, as
people all
just
across
as
the
a rule,
country
but
are
beautiful
amazed
paddock.
to see our racetrack and a big mountain in the backdrop.
But our stable area is well maintained, and the way it's set up, and it's just
Delta Downs is the weirdest track I've ever been to because it's just in the middle of nowhere, and they have great racing because of the proximity to Houston, but it's in a small town in Louisiana, Vinton, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yes.
How about Calder? I made my appearance at Calder Racecourse once in Miami. Took the public transit bus from downtown Miami Beach to Calder to play the horses one day.
You ever go to Highlight racing?
Highlight. That's the only sport on my
I've been
head
to Bridgeport Highlight.
Yeah.
Bridgeport?
I've been to Bridgeport Highlight.
They still play Highlight
Ube.
somewhere.
The guy's name was Ube. He came
Ube.
around. All he had to do was get a point. I win. He lost. Then he came around again in the same game. All he had to do was get a point, and I win. And he lost again. Ube.
That
was a while ago.
All right.
Okay, that's Emerald Downs week. I still remember Ube. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you at the races at Emerald Downs.
We got to get a picture of Ube for next week.
Did you play the
We're gonna
exacta
find
or
him.
bet him straight?
I think we're going to get him on the show. He's still got to be around, right?
That was 85.
All right.
85?
UBE. He was a Portuguese dude. No, really, I was going to cash. Okay, Ube. Oh, it got to Ube.
We will find him, Joe. We will find him.
He didn't win, and then he came around again.
Ube Day at Emerald Downs.
And of course, he was a price guy.
Yeah, that's probably why he didn't win.
He was a price guy.
He had a winless record.